How big is this game in your mind?
Man, it's a big game for sure. Obviously, NFC North matchup, and obviously the Bears #1 in the NFC and top in the NFC North right now. So it'll be a great game, and obviously a game we got to go out there and handle business.
Jordan, you always hear, oh, it's just another game, but why this one is not, and you guys are embracing it? Why is that?
I think for obvious reasons. Like I said, they're #1 in the NFC. So obviously we haven't played them yet. The only team in the NFC North we haven't seen. So and two games in 3 weeks. So it'll be a great matchup. They're a good team, and like we've always said, it's that 1-0 mentality. Just handle business this week.
You guys have done a really good job of taking care of the ball, but you're facing a team that does a really good job of taking it away. What have you seen from them, and what is the key to once again consistently taking care of the ball in this matchup?
Yeah, it's something that we've harped on all season. Is we got to go out there and do a great job just protecting the ball, and that's everybody. That's me, the receivers, the running backs, anybody that's carrying the ball. And like you said, they're #1 in the league at creating turnovers and getting interceptions. So I think they do a good job. Their DBs are they're aware of the ball, and they're making plays when it is in the air. So obviously a great group of DBs over there, but it just comes down to us, being smart with decisions and just taking care of it at all times.
Is there anything you found different about this Bears defense than the one you faced in January?
Last season, you're saying? Yeah, I think obviously new coordinator over there, new defense coordinator. So, kind of similar style, but, I think they are doing a good job. Their coverages look pretty good. And like we said before, they're doing a good job at hunting the ball right now and flying around. So they do a lot of stuff, and we'll have to just, prepare this week and see all the looks that we're going to get and go into it with a good game plan.
Your touchdown to Christian last week, you had verticals on both sides. How do you know, and when do you know that you're going to go there? Is that before the snap? Is there something you see after the snap that know that that's the right way to target?
It's just we call it a pick a side. You're just kind of going to your best matchup, who you want to go to, and like you said, you got mirrored routes on both sides, so you just kind of look out, see what you got, and I liked Christian winning down the field right there.
Is there something about how he ran that route that you noticed during the play, or is that okay? I like this matchup before the snap. Like, how does that work?
No, it's all really just like you said, pre-snap, kind of knowing who you got out there, knowing what matchup you got on the other side with DBs and things like that. But it's really one of those things where you just get back and you kind of peek when you get to the top of your drop, see if anybody's just one clean or anything like that. But I just kind of wanted to work Christian, obviously, with a guy with that much speed. You want to give him a chance down the field, and he did what he needed to do.
You've been doing that a lot more in the past couple of weeks. I think he's had 17 targets the last 2 games. Is that intentional on your part with how he's come back?
With Christian?
Make sure he's
Yeah, I think that's kind of just the way it's gone down. But I think he's been capitalizing on those ops that he's had. He's done some really good job. Made some big time contested catches downfield, and I think he's improving on all that stuff. So I think when the guy's making plays, you just kind of keep feeding him. But I think it's just the way some of the plays are playing out too, and some of the opportunities we got with coverage matchups and things like that. But he's capitalizing on all those ops he's got.
How's Jaden looked, and what's going to mean to get him back just from a yards after catch perspective? You have to handle a lot as this tough one out.
He's looked good, man. He's looked obviously, like we said, he's been putting work on the side to be able to get back, and having him back out there at practice has been it's been nice. So we all know what he's capable when he's on the field, and like you said, the things he does when he gets the ball in his hands, when just a playmaker, just a real dynamic playmaker. So we've been missing that. It'll be nice to hopefully get him back.
As you hit this game in this stretch, what are you most confident in about the Packer offense right now?
Yeah, I think we've improved a lot on a lot of things that we've needed to improve on from the earlier games we played, and it's all about just keep stacking, keep focusing on doing our job, and the little details. It's going to help keep propelling us. But guys been stepping up and making plays. Like I said, O-line's been doing a great job keeping me clean, and the run game obviously I think's been looking better and better. So it's a lot of stuff we've just kind of slowly been improving on and keep harping on the details and focus on doing our job. But it's trending in the right direction.
Jordan, Matt took a stray from Ben Johnson at his introductory press conference when Ben said, "I enjoyed beating Matt a couple times a year." I know you want to win the game for a lot of reasons, but is there one you want to win it for your coach, and based on what was said?
Nah, we're not worried about those things that are said. It's another game. Obviously, the Bears matchup. We're always trying to win that game.
You heard it though. You said it. I imagine.
I've seen some stuff. Yeah, I've seen some stuff.
What went through your head?
It is what it is, man.
Jordan, Aaron really embraced this rivalry and played into it. Can you feel this as a player, the rivalry between these two teams as it enters a new era with you and obviously Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I think it's a rivalry game that dates back way before I've been here. So it's one of those things that you know what the rivalry is all about, and obviously what the week brings. So it's a fun rivalry to be a part of. But yeah, I think for the most part, it just comes down to those NFC North games. And like I said before, you got the two top teams in NFC North going against each other, which I think just feeds into everything a little bit more. But no, it's a great rivalry.
They were 5-12 last year. When do they get your attention this season?
This season, I think they've been doing some good things. I think records kind of don't always speak for the type of team that you're playing, but I think they've been trending in the right direction, doing a lot of good things. I think their defense has always been really solid and done some really good things. In the last couple of matchups, we've had some close games. And so, I think their offense has been building. Obviously, Caleb going into year 2 has been doing some really good things over there. So, yeah, I think everything's coming together for them now, and everybody's seeing the type of team that they are. But they've been winning some close games, and that's what it takes in the league. But yeah, new coaching staff over there, a lot of things for them. But yeah, I think they've been a solid team.
Hey Jordan, Kyle just mentioned Aaron, and you just mentioned Caleb. I'm just curious. It feels like throughout Aaron's career, for as long as he played, he never had like a quarterback rival, right? Like Brady versus Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be fun if you and Caleb? I know you know him a little, right? Would it be fun if you guys kind of had that? You guys, both your teams are really good, and you're playing for a lot of things. Does that idea appeal to you? I know you want to win the game most important.
Yeah, I mean, I think that stuff all plays a part in it and makes it even a cooler game. You know what I mean? The rivalry's already there, and then obviously, Caleb doing some good things this season and trending up. So I think that aspect kind of plays another little part, like you said. Everybody wants to see the quarterback matchup, but yeah, for us, it's just another game, and I like watching him on tape and seeing some of the cool things he does. But yeah, it'll be a good matchup.
After watching the tape of Detroit, what's the thing you take away from that? I mean, what direction do you think your offense is trending?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing from the Detroit game is guys made plays, and that's, I think, the difference in that game is, when it mattered most, a lot of fourth down plays, some big-time third down conversions, and then, like I said, some big-time catches. But guys just making plays, and that's usually the difference in the game. I think we talked about winning the turnover battle and playing clean on not having any turnovers, and that's always a difference. But it just came down to guys making plays and winning those matchups.
Jordan, speaking of those fourth downs, Matt had mentioned from the Arizona game, you giving him kind of the look coming to the sideline to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys obviously went for it and got it 3 times on Thanksgiving. Are you kind of excited about maybe the idea of being a little more aggressive? Not stupid, but still aggressive?
Yeah, I love it. I think for me, being the quarterback, you love to just know that, the coach has the confidence in the offense to be able to go out there and execute on those big-time conversions that we needed. And for us, it's just a matter of going out there and making him right and converting those things. But, yeah, you love the opportunity to be able to go out there and just make him right in that instance. And, I think we've done a great job on third down and fourth down this season, and stuff just we got to keep building on. But, you want that. You want that opportunity to be able to go out there and execute and stay on the field in those situations.
Jordan, what's been key for you in terms of keeping the ball out of harm's way? I know after the Carolina and Philly game, you really wanted to put an emphasis on that in the last 3 games. It seems like it hasn't been a problem at all.
I mean, that's something we focus on all season, just taking care of the ball, and that's everybody. But it just comes down for me, decision making, and like I said, making those smart decisions, understanding where I need to go with the ball, certain looks, and sometimes when to just throw it away or find the check down. So just smart decision making at the end of the day.
Jordan, a lot of teams talk about, especially getting into December, they want to be playing their best football. Do you feel like this team is kind of at that point, starting to kind of make that surge to playing at the level that you guys want to?
Yeah, I think it's trending in the right direction. I think there's still a lot of stuff we can improve on and keep. We've talked about all season just playing complementary ball, and I think we've done some good things, but there's always more room for improvement. But yeah, like you said, you always want to be trending in the right direction at the end of the season and playing your best ball in December. So, I think we got some more work to do. Obviously, 5 games left and a good test this week, but something we just got to keep find ways to, like I said before, stay on the details, stay the course, have a great week of prep throughout the week, and, find ways to go out there and keep playing our best ball.
Banks has been able to string together a healthy stretch here. You have a new center, a right guard. Do you feel like you've found something on the middle of your offensive line with the run game especially?
Yeah, I mean, I think with, some of the injuries we've had and guys moving around, it's always tough, but I think guys have stepped up and done some really good things. Sean's been able to do some great things at center, obviously having to step up with E going down, and then, AB's been able to come in at guard and do some pretty good things as well. You mentioned Banks, I think he's been playing really good the last couple of weeks, but it's just they're coming together and they're making plays, and I think in the past game they've been doing a great job handling a lot of the different looks we've been seeing, a lot of different pressure things, and just giving me time, keeping me clean. That's all you can ask for as a quarterback, but they've been doing a great job, and it's something we just got to keep staying at it.
With that said, in the past game, how much more tuned do you have to be to the rush when you have a guy, Sean, that's never really played full-time center before? You got a rookie tackle playing guard. How much more tuned do you have to be to the rush?
I don't think not much. I think the biggest thing is just making sure the communication pre-snap is everybody's on the same page. I think that's the biggest thing with someone who hasn't been out there as much, with Sean at center. But I think he's done a great job with that. But I think everybody just makes sure we're on the same page with some of the pressure looks and just communication, especially, when we're on the road, being in that atmosphere. But I think Sean's done a great job. But, I trust these guys post-snap that they're going to be able to handle all the looks. And, if we don't, something that you just come to the sideline, talk about it, and make sure, going forward we're all on the same page. But it just comes down to that pre-snap communication, make sure everybody's dialed in so we don't get any, easy ones where we're just cutting guys loose.
Jordan, if I remember right, in that Players Tribune article that you posted this summer, that you at one point in your life didn't think about or thinking that you would never play football again, and then fast forward to now you have so much confidence in yourself and you've been vocal about being aggressive as a quarterback. At what point in your career did you build that confidence in yourself that, hey, I want to be here and I want to, be the aggressive quarterback I am? Was it in college? Was it in the NFL?
Yeah, I think it's a long journey. From high school where my mindset was at, and going to college and being a backup there, and then obviously getting my opportunity, and the same thing coming to the NFL and being able to sit behind A-Rod, watch him, and learn and grow, and then get my shot. But I think a lot of that stuff just came from getting these reps over the time. I haven't always played the same kind of style of ball as a quarterback, and I think a lot of it's just learning, growing, seeing other guys do some cool things, and just building that. But I think every rep I get, every rep I've gotten, I've learned from, grown from, and it's all kind of got me to where I'm at now.
Jordan,
Two more for Jordan.
Bill asked you about Reed, but I'm curious if this is the Wicks you're going to get for the last 5 games, healthy and doing what he did on Thursday. What does that do for your offense?
I think the stuff he did was just cool to see, and I think that's the work he's put in. But I think more than anything for everybody, it's just everybody's got to be ready whenever that ball comes their way to be able to go out there like Wicks did and just capitalize on all those opportunities. I think he's done a great job just staying the course where, we've talked about it before. We got a lot of receivers that do some really cool things. So, obviously it's hard to be able to, spread the ball around and get everybody as many touches as they want. But, I think for everybody it's the mindset of just staying ready. When you get those ops, go out there and capitalize. And obviously, hopefully Jay Reed gets back. Hopefully, see if MG can get back. But like I said, we just got a lot of guys. So, whenever the ball comes your way, find ways to make those plays and capitalize on it, and you'll get more ops. But it's one of those things where you never know. You never know who's going to have that day. And we talk about Christian doing some really good things. Rome's done some great things all season. So we just got to stay ready and, make those ops when the ball comes your way.
At this stage of your career, is weather a factor? If it's cold Sunday, is that a factor to you or this offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a factor. It's something that you got to go out there and just be mentally tough, mentally strong, and find ways to tough it out and play through some of the cold. But cold, wind, rain, snow, those things are all factors, especially in the pass game. But it's one of those things where, you practice it every day. You kind of, build a callus, I'd say, to it. But it's different than playing in an indoor where you ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. But it's one of those things you just got to, whatever it takes, find ways to play through it and come out with the goal of getting a win.
You did hands and love last night. When you come away from that and brought Rashid along, What does that mean to you? Maybe the feedback you get from the kids or helping them out. What does that mean for you?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. You know, we had 8 guys that came out and helped out, and you know, it's cool. It's an awesome experience, I think, for all of us to be able to go out there and just give back. And I know we make an impact on the kids' lives that are out there, and them just being able to talk to us. And it takes me back to being, you know, in high school, being young, and be able to, you know, I never had that opportunity to be around NFL players, but just, you know, think like how cool that would be. So I hope, you know, it makes a positive impact on those kids' lives and something they can always take with them, and just being around us and hopefully, you know, give them people to look up to.